In the last video, we finally got our Warp Scepter, so that's another PVM item checked off our list. As for what's next, well, our next few upgrades are locked behind some questing. We're level 57 Slayer right now, but back at 55, we unlocked Cave Horrors, meaning Black Mass, meaning Slayer Helm. We're gonna need to get that as soon as we can, but we're gonna need to do Cabin Fever first. After we get done with that, we're gonna work on getting Thralls, a big DPS unlock. We're gonna do that by doing the quest Kingdom Divided. Well, before that, we're going to do the, 5-6 quests that we have to do before Kingdom Divided. I actually forgot that we already finished Cabin Fever. So, with that being said, all we have to do is go farm some Cave Horrors. So I went ahead and geared up. I did some DPS checks, and assuming we're wearing full Blood Moon, then the dualies will be better. However, we're not doing that. We are wearing the Eclipse Moon top and bottom for some magic defense, as Cave Horrors attack melee, but their attack is based on magic. So we're going to test out the setup, but if we end up taking too much damage, I'm going to swap to range and safe spot them. If you didn't know, the Cave Horrors are located on the island of Mostly Harmless after you complete Cabin Fever, which we did a while ago and I actually just forgot. And then you head on over to this cave entrance to the east. This is one of those caves which requires a light source, so be sure to bring that. For my case, I'm bringing my fire making cape. Mistakes have been made, and I'm sure somebody would have noticed this at the beginning. But it turns out Cave Horrors are level 58 Slayer. For some reason, I thought they were 55. The plan remains the same, just altered slightly. First, we gotta knock out 19k worth of Slayer EXP, and then we'll come back. So it looks like we last left off on Iron Dragons. With the Twin Flame Staff and Earthwave, this shouldn't take too long. Always getting caught off guard with collection log or combat task pop-ups whenever I'm doing Slayer. There goes my first Ancient Shard. And our next Neve task is going to be 135 Cal Fight. Yeah, we can do that. The one downside to the Moon's gear is that it's incredibly expensive to repair. 2.8 mil to completely repair my Blood Moon set. That is rough. We only need 156 EXP to go until we hit 58, but we're picking up a new Neve task. I believe this is actually our 100th task. It looks like we have Fire Giants. This is going to be big points though. 2 Fire Giants into the task, and that's 58 Slayer. We're going to come back to this task later. For right now, let's get geared back up for the Cave Horrors to get our Black Mask. A Black Mask is 1 in 512, so let's see how long it'll take us. So far, meleeing seems to be working out quite well. I seem to be 3 or 4 shotting these Cave Horrors pretty consistently. And the big thing is they're not smacking me too hard. See, back-to-back zeros. And we're currently not on task, so we don't have to worry about superiors. We just got a Longbone. If I remember correctly, we also got a Longbow near the beginning of our Warped Creatures grind for the Scepter. I think this is the game's way of trolling me just a little bit, you know? Ooh, Baguette chance. Never stale. Just under 200 KC right now. Even though the drop rate is higher at 1 in 512 versus the Warp Scepter at, I think 1 in 320, I think this grind should go by quicker. These Cave Horrors have much less health. Dude, a second Longbone? Oh snap, there it is. The Black Mask at KC 469, so under rate. Just like that. We got what we need, let's get out of here. So, like I said before, after getting our Black Mask, we now set our sights on getting Thralls. In order to do that, we're going to have to do quite a bit of quests. The first on the list is Client of Kourend. All these quests will ultimately lead up to the big one, Kingdom Divided. Finished up the first quest, and this one's pretty big. I mean, of course we get the antique lamps, but also we get this book, which will let us teleport around Zaya. And as we all know, Zaya is just too damn big. After the completion of Kingdom Divided, this book will turn into the Book of the Dead. Next up, we're doing Queen of Thieves. We're conveniently already in the area. I just have to hit the bank to grab a stew. I remember this quest. How would you like to kill him? Brutally or softly? You realize that you can't really kill someone softly. You brutally murder him instead. Queen of Thieves completed. We get a page to add to our book. Next up is the Depths of Despair by talking to Lord Hasidius. Another quest down, another page to add to our book. Now we're moving on to the Ascent of... I just realized this, but I pronounce this pretty interchangeably. Arceus? Arceus? Anyways, we're doing the Ascent of Arceus. Arceus? You know what I mean. There goes another one. Just 2 more quests to do before we can do the big one. Currently working on the Forsaken Tower. This quest is just a bunch of little puzzles on each floor. The Forsaken Tower completed. Free use of the Lovakanj minecarts. Can't say I've ever used those before. We're in the Shazian region right now, getting started on the final prereq quest, Tale of the Righteous. Tale of the Righteous finished. Now we can finally start the Kingdom Divided. It says that I'm going to need a defense potion, but a 3 or 4 dose. I currently only have a 2 dose, so I'm going to head into the Warriors Guild. That's the wrong NPC. Talk to Lily over here, and we can purchase a defense pot. Just 2 more things to pick up before we start this quest, one of which is... oh, well, be right back. One of them is the volcanic sulfur. We actually went to the right place, but we need a face mask for protection. Here we are. Now we can mine it. And we just needed the one. This was also a medium task, so that's nice. And for the last item, we just had to make a quick stop at the Zaya runecrafting mines. And I no! Oh, there's a chisel over here, never mind. That's right. I thought I forgot the pickaxe too, but not having a chisel is no big deal. There's a spawn here. We just needed a dark essence block. Now that we have it, we can now start the quest by talking to Martin Hull. Quick little boss fight coming up. The Judge of Yama. At the time of this recording, Yama's not actually out yet, but it is being discussed and it was already voted in to the polls. So, it's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be like. There we go. Even though we just did a boss fight, I don't think this quest is anywhere near done. If I recall correctly, there is at least 1 more boss fight. A Kingdom Divided is a pretty long quest. Here we go, this is the final boss fight. I can't move. Well, okay, this is why you actually read up on certain boss fights. I brought in my melee gear, but turns out that this boss is weakest to range. So let me just go get re-geared, and then we should be able to fly through this boss. Yep, having the range gear made it much easier. Forget chance and never stale. I remember this part of the quest pretty well because it's kind of dumb. You just talk to all the NPCs at this tower, right? But you go up the ladder, down the ladder, up the stairs, down the stairs, back up twice more, blah, 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 blah. You get the point, you know? Let's not forget going down into the basement. So it seems like because I died during that boss fight with the Dark Essence block and the Volcanic Sulfur on me, I lost it. So unfortunately, I have to go back and recollect these items. The Karen Woodlands is such a random location, and anytime I see this spot right here, I just think of the LMS map. I know we're on the home stretch to being done with this quest right now, but man, does it feel like it's dragging on right now. And it's not so much the story, it's just Zaya is just too damn big. I have to run around so much. Oh my god, a Varlamore reference before Varlamore was released. Honestly, what a twist at the end of this quest, right? Anyways, that is a Kingdom Divided completed finally. We get the Book of the Dead, 2 antique lamps. We're going to spend that on Slayer, of course. And we have the option of the Karen Castle respawn point, but I'm not sure who has ever picked that, honestly. But we now have access to Thralls. That's the big thing. That's going to be useful in almost any PVM engagement we're going to have.